Hey guys, I hope you're having a great day so far. Okay, the substitute should have handed you a packet, the new Unit 4-5 packet on functions. You're going to turn to page 7. We're going to do some examples together. I'm giving you just a minute so you can turn to page 7. Remember, you're going to follow along, do what I'm doing in class, and that way you can do your homework. Okay, on page 7, we're going to start with section 2. Okay, yesterday we talked about relations and functions and linear functions. Okay, remember, a relation is just a set of ordered pairs. A function has all x's are different. And a linear function is just a function whose graph is a line. So in looking at 13, what I'm doing now is I'm giving you an equation and I want us to graph it. So we've created a t-chart here and it's kind of helped you along the way. But now, before we even graph it, looking at just the equation, okay, I taught you some rules yesterday on determining if it is a linear function. And by looking at just the equation, you should determine, yes, it is. Okay? Also, because of the table of values, it's a function because all of your x values are different. So now, in order to finish this chart, basically it's just an expanded t-chart. These two columns, actually, this column and this column really aren't needed, okay, down the road. Right now I've got them here just to help us along the way. So basically what you're doing is I'm giving you these, 6 x values. And you're going to plug them into the equation one at a time to find out what your output is, or your range. So when I plug in a -3, I get -3 plus 1. Well then, -3 is a +3. +3 plus 1 is 4. So now my ordered pair is -3, 4. And then I follow suit. -2 is a +2 plus 1 is 3. -1 is a +1 plus 1 is 2. -0 plus 1 is just a 1. -1 plus 1 is 0. And a -2 plus 1 is a -1. Remember your integer rules. So now I have my ordered pair, so now I'm going to go over here and plot them. So -3, +4. -2, +3. -1, +2. 0, 1. 1, 0. 2, -1. And now we're going to connect, and you're going to extend it all the way through the graph. And I don't have a ruler right here, but I actually did a pretty good job drawing a straight line. Okay, you can use your ruler in your agenda or just something straight. Now, we already determined it was a linear function. We graphed it and it's a linear function. A check would be if we graph this and you had a point, an extraneous point somewhere, then that means you made a mistake graphing it, or you made a mistake solving it. Okay, and it is a linear function, or it is a function because it passes the pencil test. Okay, so to answer this question, is this a linear function? Yes, which we already determined that it was. Okay, let's look at number 14. Well, before I actually complete my chart and graph it, looking at my equation, is this a linear function? And you should say no, because exponents. Okay, now remember, you can pause this, and if the sub doesn't know how, somebody show the sub how to pause this. Okay, so now let's fill this out. -2 squared. The negative's inside, so -2 times -2 is a +4 plus 1. -1 squared is just 1 plus 1 is 2. 0 squared is 0 plus 1. Now here it's asking for me to do it. So 1 squared plus 1. 1 squared is 1 plus 1 is 2. And now 2 squared is 4 plus 1 is 5. And let's plot this. -2, 5. -1, 0. 0, 1. 1, 2. Something's not right. Oh, I made a mistake right here. I'm like, see? Right off the bat, I'm looking at this saying, okay, this looks funny. And I know, because I know that what it should look like. So I'm going to go back and fix this. Because I made a mistake right here. It should be -1, 2. So I'll start over again. So -2, 5, -1, 2, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 5. And the reason why I knew is because I know what this should look like. And this is a parabola, a quadratic equation. When I have x squared, that's a quadratic equation, which we talked about it when we solved quadratic and cubic functions. Okay, so this is not a linear function, but is this a function? The pencil test says, yes, it is. So, but it is a function. Okay, sorry about that mistake on that one. But you probably caught it right here when I did it right there. Okay, turn the page. Okay, so now, before we even do anything, I'm looking at the equation. Is this a linear function? Yes, it is. So we know that the graph should be a line. So I'm going to take and I'm going to go ahead and start plugging this in and solving. 3 times -2 is -6 plus 5 is a -1. 3 times -1 plus 5, that's a -3 plus 5 is 2. 3 times 0 plus 5 is 5. 3 times 1 plus 5, 3 plus 5 is 8. And 3 times 2 plus 5 is 11. So I'm going to plot -2, -1, -1, 2, 0, 5, and then 1, 8 is off my page, as is 2, 11. But these three line up. And like we said, is this a linear function? Yes. Okay, what I would like for you to do is pause the video, and I want you to work on 16, 17, and 18. Okay, 16, 17, and 18, and then the substitute will restart it so you can hear my explanation. Okay, so you've stopped it, you've worked 16, 17, and 18, and now we're just going to check it. We talked about x equals 3 yesterday. Okay, so we know that is not a linear function. Okay, we also know that it is a vertical line going through 3, and every x value is 3. So I don't even need to look at these points. I know that my graph is going to look like this. And no, it's not a linear function. However, it is linear, but not a linear function. 17, we know it's a linear function because of the 4 statements that we talked about yesterday. So when I plug this in, I get a -4. And now I'm going to graph it. -2, -4, -1, -2, 0, 0, 1, 2, 2, 4. Using a ruler, which I do not have right here. And we already said, yes, it is a linear function. 18. That is a linear function. So negative 3 times negative 2 is a positive 6. And then I'm going to graph it. Negative 2, positive 6. Negative 1, 3. 0, 0. 1, negative 3. 2, negative 6. And again, yes, it is linear. Okay, what you are to do now are several things. I want you to finish page 9, which is 19 through 24. And really, nothing has to be done right here because we talked about this yesterday. So really, you're doing 19 and then 21 through 24. Then turn the page, and you're going to do page 10, following the directions. And then I want you to go back and do page 3. Okay, so what you're doing for homework, again, is page 3, finish page 9, and then page 10. Okay, remember that there's going to be a quiz on Friday over the stuff we've covered yesterday and today, and then what we're going to be covering on Thursday. Okay, hope y'all have a great rest of the day, and I will see you tomorrow.